Hey there everyone, it's Val, and welcome to today's Visit with Val, the YouTube Partner Program requirements update, as well as a short state of affairs for my channel. Right, so let's start with the YouTube Partner Program updates. This is the status of my progress towards the 4K goal for the YouTube Partner Program. I just want to remind you that there is, on the data you're seeing, up to a 36-hour delay on the majority of the stats, and I'm still seeing up to 7 days delay on about 10% of it, so more hours will trickle in, but it's good enough to get on with. Right, so with my visit with Val on the 22nd of February, we had 3,038 watch hours in the previous 12 months that counted for monetization, and today, on the 6th of April, we have 3,364 hours. So while we didn't get to the goal that we hoped to by the end of March, we still have made progress towards it, and I am taking that as a positive. And in a way, having it spread out over more months is actually preferable, so that when we get around to this next year and we lose those hours, hopefully it won't be an issue and we can continue without losing the YouTube Partner Program. I am confident that we will be back in the YouTube Partner Program long before that. And that's, of course, what we're going over here to see how the progress towards meeting that goal is going. I just wanted to talk once again about the iceberg of missing watch hours. This is a set of videos that I made. The first one that says outline on it, the top one there, is basically all the detail cut out, so it's just the intro and the outro parts, which gives you the introduction and the conclusion and summarizes everything. And then of course you want to see all the data. There's the whole hour video there as well. Those of course are dating from the 17th of February. In the looking at data I've done since then, I haven't gone quite as in depth as I did when I was preparing for that video, but my spot checks have indicated that the things that I found out there are in fact still the case. And those two primary things that we need to care about is the evidence that some privacy extensions prevent watch hour accruing, and also the evidence that valid watching via playlists, if you don't do correct interactions, that I put correct in quotes because who knows what YouTube is assuming is not a bot, but if you don't interact with the video while you're watching it through playlists, those watch hours get thrown away. So take that for, whatever help that is, if you want to help out the creators that you have been watching and make sure that your watch hour time is being recorded for them. Right, so into the data. So I have prepared this video exactly the same way with the slides that I did last video, so you could actually go and compare them if you wanted to. I do have some comparisons within this one, but I tried to keep the format the same. So in the last 365 days from the 5th of April 2017 to the 4th of April 2018, we have had people watching ValsNoisyToys for 3,366 hours. All of these are hours that are currently counting towards the value that is being recorded for monetization purposes. So, the requirement, of course, you need 4,000 hours, watch hours, in the last 365 days. And of course, we have 3,366 counting towards that, and that means that we still need 634 hours in order for me today to be able to apply to the YouTube Partner Program. Of course, that's not happening, but today. But we are making progress, and that to me is the main thing. We are still making progress, and I am still quite happy with how much you guys have been enjoying and watching, and it's still been inspiring me and motivating me to continue the efforts on my side. So, let's go through the YouTube Partner Program requirements, my push results. And the push is getting back into the YouTube Partner Program. It started off as, let's try to stay in it, and of course, since I didn't wasn't able to remain in it. We're now trying to get back in. So that starts on January 17th, the day after they announced the Ass Hattery, till April 4th, which is the latest stats that are currently available today, April 6th, in my dashboard. So watch time in hours, 1,972 hours. That is in 78 days. We have done almost 2,000 hours, almost half the watch hour requirements. So you can see why I'm confident that I'll be getting back in the YouTube Partner Program. Not as soon as I'd hoped, but it is still going to happen, and sooner rather than later. So, the numbers here, 1,972 hours divided by 78 days, gives us an average about 25.3 watch hours per day. And as you can see from the chart, when we were doing the really high push, when people were really watching a lot of extra content, the average was higher. It was 33.5, I think, for the first half of the graph. And of course, since I didn't manage to make it to stay in the partner program, we didn't get the hours in time, the watch hours has tailed off. And I expected that. I mean, like I said, in an ideal world, I would have loved to have seen that high rate continue, but I knew that people were putting in extra watch hours to help me out, and I expected that to tail off as real life came along, and you know, they'd watched the older content that they wanted to watch once already, you know. So like I said, we're still making progress, and that's the main thing. So what is the current state of affairs? Well, I've set my new goal for the 30th of April, and so from here we can see on this chart how many hours will count that won't age off. So these are the hours that will for sure count towards any math that we do at the end of April. So that's 3,117 hours. So as I showed you just before, we have 25.3 watch hours per day on average. So looking at the hours that count towards that goal, we still need 883 hours because we need 4,000 watch hours, and we're subtracting 3,117 hours from that. So, just as a little bit of a recap on my last video that I put out on the 22nd of February, we needed 1,375 hours in order to make the goal at the end of March. So you can see that the number that we need has decreased because we are making progress. So even though we've moved the goalpost out to the end of April, we still need less to get to there than we did last time I did a video about it. So we are making progress. So the new goal, 883 hours divided by 25.3 watch hours per day, means we need 35 days if the rates continue at the current average. Which means that we're probably not going to make the 30th of April, but I'm still gonna try, still gonna hope, and you just never know. Because the 5th of April to 30th of April, we only have 26 days left. I'm sorry that I didn't get this out closer to the beginning of April, but real life intervened. So you might have had a few more days, but it really wouldn't have made much difference. But we'll see how it goes. That's all we can do, right? So yes, not quite enough days, but I am confident we will still make it, as I've said earlier in the video. We are making gains every single day. We are making progress. So even if it's the end of May or end of June that it actually happens, it's still going to happen. But we'll still try to make it sooner rather than later. And by the way, wow. You guys, you just continue to amaze me with all the time that you've spent watching my content since the 17th of January 2018. 1,972 watch hours in 78 days. That's 2.5 months. Well, if we can keep this up, we'll get there. So thank you all. Look how far we've come in 78 days. almost halfway to the goal in the last 78 days alone. Your continued incredible support. Every day it continues to fuel my inspiration and my motivation to keep up my daily content. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys, so thank you so very much. And by the way, let's keep that watch hour train rolling. And I hope you enjoy that emote that you can see there, because that is one of the emotes that will be available if I ever get YouTube Partner sponsorship back. I say ever. I know it'll happen. It's just, when. But if you become a sponsor, that squirrel can be your emote to use too. In chat, of course. You can currently use him and 2 others that are awesome like him, also done by Ascot Hero, on my Patreon Discord. And if you're a Discord Nitro user, you can use them anywhere you want. So, there's a thought. Become a patron. If you've been thinking about it. Here's a little bit of extra incentive. Alright, well, now that I've wrapped up that data, I would like to talk about the few other topics, sort of a little bit of a channel recap. For those of you who may have been watching the streams, particularly today, but I also did a test a few days ago, we have a new squirrel bot, Vals Squirrel bot, in all the chats, Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. That is the Streamlabs chatbot, which was formerly known as Inkbot. I've been switching over to that. I had to do testing first to make sure it looked like everything was going to work, and it is. So I spent about 5 hours last night transferring over all the commands and the triggers and whatnot to the 3 copies of the chatbot that I have to run, one for each platform. It is in progress. It's not finished. I still have the bad word list and some other things to transfer over. So for a while, you will see Nightbot and ScottyBot on Mixer. Nightbot, of course, is on YouTube and Twitch. They will still be there and still be making comments in chat periodically as they slap someone down for a bad word or whatever. They will be phased out, but retired. They'll be going to well-deserved retirement while we switch over to the Streamlabs chatbot. Now, on the subject of schedule keeping, I have been doing a lot better than I expected. I've had to take, I think it's a total of 3 days now, but that's over the last 78 days. So for me, you know how erratic my schedule used to be. So I think I'm doing pretty good at meeting my commitments to you guys to provide content, new content every day for you to watch through streaming or pre-recorded series on YouTube. I will say that my stress level has been higher than I would have liked. It didn't get as high as I feared it might. It didn't cause me to sort of go into a collapse mode, which I won't go into details for or about, but that was my biggest fear, was that it would cause me to go and everything would break down, but it didn't. I've been managing to just barely keep ahead of the stress, so I'm still at a higher stress level than I think I should be, but it is slowly declining now that I've been able to adjust some of my workflow, and so that's good. That means that my schedule should continue to be regular, and I'm trying to make it more regular by always streaming at 1 o'clock. I know that isn't always going to happen, but that's my goal, is to try to always have my live streams starting at 1 o'clock my time. And last couple of weeks I've been doing pretty good. Not perfect, but getting there. So I'm pleased. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are finding that knowing when something is going to come out is useful. Something I have been considering doing is changing my pre-recorded series so they don't come out at 9 AM. Instead, they come out at 1 PM. So let me guys know what you think about that. I'm still up in the air as to whether I should change it, because I was thinking, from my side, that if it came out at the same time as my live streams normally started, then they'd be there for you to watch, but the same is true if I release them at 9 a.m. So anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll fold it into my mullings about whether or not I'll actually modify that. Right, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is there are several series that I've been doing, well, one of them is a little bit older, that have been on hiatus, and those are Tokencraft 3 on the dev server, Prey, which is a SRP series, and Staxel, of course, we put to the side temporarily while they were working on some optimizations. I'd still plan to return and to continue all of those. I am still being very careful about how much I put on my plate. I know that mentally it's much easier for me to do the same game every day and not switch from day to day. So until my stress level gets lower, I will continue doing basically the pre-recorded series will be one thing, and then my streaming will be another game, but it'll be the same game all 5 days, like I've been doing with Terraria and Staxel before that. However, that said, once I feel that my stress level has decreased enough, I am looking at adding one of those 3, Prey, Staxel, Tokencraft 3, back into the mix. I still haven't figured out exactly how to do that, but like I said, I have to be so careful about how much I take on. So for the time being, I just wanted to say, really, that I haven't forgotten about them. They will all be continued / finished, depending on which one I'm talking about. And I'm sorry that I couldn't continue to, like, especially with the Prey SRP series, I am sorry that I had to put that one on a hiatus, because I would have liked to have finished it. But it just came at a time where I had to cut down in order to continue forward, and, well, it got put on the back burner because of that, but I haven't forgotten about it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else I wanted to talk to you guys about today, so I'm not sure how long this ramble will be. It's probably be longer than I wanted to, as usual. So I hope you found this visit with Val interesting and informative, and hopefully in some measure entertaining. And I will see you guys in the stream sometime. You take care now. Bye.